Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to my craft room. Um, I am Tina Bigford. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Here in the US. I am back from vacation. Yay! All right, so if you're here with me watching live, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know that you're here. So, we just got back from vacation. My husband and I went on vacation. We had a really good time. Nice warm weather, beautiful warm weather. It was awesome. Um, yeah, we didn't get in until late though, so we didn't get. I think our flight landed in Boston just before 10 p.m. So by the time we got to a gate and got our shuttle and got to the vehicle and then got home, it was um, just before midnight last night. So I'm a little bit tired because we were up just before 5 a.m. because, of course, we have animals and they don't respect, you know, the going to bed late and getting up late thing. So, they just, and they missed us. So it was a rough night. Anyway, so what have you guys been doing? I am so sorry. Before my vacation, I thought I would be able to um, get a couple of videos um, recorded before I left on vacation so that I could schedule them to go live. We did have something happened that before I left on vacation that I left me. I couldn't do the videos. I couldn't bring myself. I couldn't compose myself to do the videos. So as some of you know, my daughter was pregnant with our first grandchild, and she miscarried the baby, yeah, at 16 weeks. So, yeah, we were just kind of dealing with that, and I just couldn't get myself together to do the videos. So, thank you for understanding. Um, anyway, so I'm gonna just go ahead and flip down to the. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and flip down to the desk camera so you guys can see where I actually went. So this is where we went. We went to Aruba and we had a great time, but I think that, it was, there were several things that kind of happened. My husband and I actually both got sick with some kind of food poisoning or something. And he is actually still dealing with it today. So, yeah, it's been a whole thing. It's been a whole thing. But um, we're back and I'm back. And I thought I'm going to do, I'm going to do a card. So of course I didn't have any time to plan this card. So I've been figuring it out this morning as I'm going while I'm trying to do all of my laundry because the day that you get back from vacation, you have to do laundry, right? So, all right. Yeah. So let me know in the comments. Have you guys gone on vacation recently? Did it go well? Did you have a good time? Like, did anything happen when you were on vacation? Anything good, bad, whatever? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what's going on. Let me just check some stuff here real quick. All right. So, all right. Now I'm not seeing any comments, so I don't know if any of you are commenting or not, and I don't know if that's a thing on my end or if you guys just aren't commenting. I can see that some of you are with me, so I know I'm not alone doing this, but I can't see your comments. All right, so we went to Aruba. Anyway, this is an ornament that I bought from Aruba. It's a resin art. It was from one of the local artists. I like supporting. I don't like buying all of that cheap made in China stuff that that they sell for, you know, the touristy kind of stuff. So I did get this. This is made by one of the local artists there, using some of the sand from the beaches there. So we always get an ornament to hang on our Christmas tree every year. So there's that. And then I also got this beautiful ring. It's a sand inlaid ring. This is by a local artist there also. We actually had an opportunity to speak with her. She's selling her stuff in a gallery now. So beautiful, beautiful. Love it. All right. So let me see. So we went to Aruba. My brother and his wife also went to Aruba a couple of weeks before we did, and they went on a sunrise sail, and they really enjoyed it. And I thought that I would make a card today, kind of honoring that sunrise sail that they took. So I'm going to just show you. This is the card that I made this morning. So this is the one we're going to make here, and we're using some new products. So this is the Sunrise Sail. This is an online exclusive. So Sunrise Sailing, and it comes with all of these great, you know, these are, if you want to make stripes on your sails, some, you know, waves in the water, just some, you know, some birds, could be a seagull. We had this one bird that kept hanging around us. He looked like he was in pretty rough shape. So I started calling him a beach chicken. So he looked like a beach chicken. He was more of a, I don't really even know. He almost like a dove, I guess. I'm not really sure. So anyway, it comes with all of this. Congratulations, happy retirement, best wishes. You deserve the best. You're destined for great things, and ahoy. So I'm actually not going to use any of the stamps. And now I think that what I may do is on the inside of the card when I'm done, I may use this, you're destined for great things, but I'm not really sure what this card is going to be yet. So I'm just going to set that aside. This does come with, if you buy it in the bundle, you get the hybrid embossing folder. And this is gorgeous too, by the way. Just using the embossing folder alone with all of this texture in the sailboat and just a white on white card, this would be gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay. But then you also get all of these dies. So this is the die that goes into the embossing folder. Then you can die cut a smaller boat, you know, some sails and a smaller boat here, some birds. Now, I will say on this card here, I did die cut. These are die cut birds. I did find it a little tedious to try to glue them on. You could use it on, you know, put adhesive back paper on there and that would be fine. I love the clouds. I haven't worked with those yet. And these are for, you know, making it look like water. And these ones, the cutting edge is only up at the top. So it cuts the top edge and then it cuts all of these little circles out. The sides and the bottom on both of these are not cutting edges. So you would, wherever it is you lined that up on your paper, you just want to be aware that it will only cut the top edge there. So we're going to go ahead and use this one. I'm not going to use any of those others for this card, but we are going to use this embossing folder. Take it out. This is actually this card was actually the first one that I used this set for. And if you can't tell, we're going to be doing some blending. I love the blending. And just again, if you guys are commenting, just so that you know, like I can't see your comments and I don't really know why. If you are commenting, just be aware that I can't see them. Okay, so we're going to start out with, I'm using my grid paper and I'm going to show you why. Because we're doing blending, obviously you want to have some kind of, you know, something to protect your work surface with all of the ink. And I'm going to be using a piece of my mint tape as well. So I'm just starting with our Oh, okay. So Lisa, I just actually had a notification pop up that you commented on the video, but I can't see it in I can't see it in here, and I don't know why. I don't really know why. Let me just, yeah, that's all right. I'll go back and read the comments. And I apologize. Again, I'm just firing everything up, getting everything plugged back in this morning. You know, and all of the computers and the televisions and the washer and the dryer and everything. So I really haven't had time to figure out why. I can't see any of that, but I can't. So, all right. So I'm just starting with a regular card base. This is a card base that we've used this dimensions hundreds of times, millions of times. Everybody uses this. It is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Now, I did get, because I got ink on my hands, of course, when I was doing this. I got ink on my hands and I touched the paper, so I have ink there. I'm going to make sure that I'm using this as my card front. So I'm just going to fold that in half and give that a nice burnish and set it aside. We're not going to do anything with that yet. All right. And then we're going to start with, and we're going to have, let me see, this piece here of white, basic white cardstock. This is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. When we layer it on here, we're going to have a very narrow border around there. So oops, grab the wrong piece there. So again, if you are just joining, I don't know why, but I cannot see your comments. So just be aware, if you are commenting, I am not ignoring you. I can't see your comments. So I'm going to also have a piece of black, basic black cardstock. And this one is 3 by 3.5. And the reason that for that size is just, it's what fits this die, okay? And then if you want to cut the birds, I'm going to actually show you a much easier way to do the birds. But if you did want to cut the birds, you would need a piece that was, this piece is 3 inches by 1.5 inches. I'm not going to use this one though, but I wanted to at least make sure that you knew that that would be the size you'd use. Okay. So let's first, before we do the blending, let's just get that, let's just die cut that black sailboat out. Now I picked black. I did die cut a white one also, and I'll show you what it looks like with the white one. But obviously I can't have you vote on it if I can't see your comments. So we're going to just go ahead and I apologize for that. I'm going to pull this in. Let me just raise this camera a little bit. Sorry. There. Here we go. Raise that up a little bit there. Okay. So for this, to die cut the sailboat, using the embossing folder, any of the hybrid embossing folders, all you need is your base plate 1 and you need your plate 4. You can't really see that, plate 4. All right. So you guys have seen this done. I know you've seen this done because you've seen other demonstrators do this also. When you have a hybrid embossing folder, your die is actually going to be placed on the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo. So if you open that up to where the logo is, your die goes on there and it cutting edge up, and you'll feel how that will just fit snugly right in there. It does not snap in. You know, everybody says you'll feel it snap in. It doesn't snap, but it's definitely, I mean, I can move it around, but if I'm just setting it there, it will stay in place. If I lift this up a little bit, see how it is actually staying in place. It's because it's fits right on there. I'm going to put this black cardstock on top, covering that die. Close that. Folded edge in first. Add my plate 4 and roll that through. So what we're going to get here is this sailboat, this black sailboat with all of this embossing on it. So it's, you know, it actually makes little windows in the boat. I know you guys can't probably see those, but yeah, it makes little windows in the boat. It's super cute. Okay. Well, I'm done with the die, but I'm not done with this embossing folder yet. I will have to clean that up. Sometimes your dies, depending on the cardstock that you use, I find that sometimes that cardstock does kind of get in there. I just use a little bit of spray cleaner and a toothbrush to get that out. All right, well, let's set our sailboat aside. We're not really going to do anything with him. We're just going to work with our blending first. So we're going to do our blending first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a horizon. And I'm going to do that using my mint tape, but well, it's what I did earlier. So what I did when I did that first card is I lined my cardstock up on my, make sure everything's straight here for you guys. I lined my card base, my little card base or my layer on my grid paper, making sure that it was even. And then I put my mint tape, making sure that the mint tape was even. That's so that I would have a nice straight horizon. I am still going to use the mint tape to mask just so that I don't mess that up. But I needed a way when I did the sky first and then I did the water, and I needed a way because if you can, let me just pull that in. There's more sky than there is water. So I needed to be able to not just put a piece of mint tape across here to do the water. I needed to also make sure that I didn't accidentally blend up into that area that I already did. So what I did with my grid paper is I just folded it up and I created a little pocket to put my card base in. So I'm just going to fold this up. And again, because this has lines on it, you can fold it up. So I just folded mine up about 3.5 inches, line that edge up with the grids, and you have just created a straight line where you can just tuck this in however far you need to mask off the area that you're not going to that you're not going to be using your blending brushes on. Okay. I still want to take this off. I still want to make sure that I have a nice, even, level horizon. So I'm going to put that there. And I'm just going to come in. I'm going to hold that down. Actually, I'm going to do what I did earlier and just tack a little bit of tape runner on there so that it stays in place when I do this. Put that right there. And then I'm going to come in, and you decide how far you want your horizon to go up. And then you're just going to match your tape from side to side, line it up with the grid lines on the side. So there. All right. You can just pull that up. I'm going to bring this up. Actually, oops. There. I'm going to bring this, I'm actually just going to bring it down just a little bit so that I have room up here. Lord, can you guys tell I'm tired? All right, bring that down there. Okay, there. And then fold this up to here. Like so. So I still have a pocket here. So instead of masking off all of this with more tape, I'm just using my paper to do it. And I still have my nice straight line. Okay. Oh, Lord, Tina, let's get to blending. Okay, so I I'm so unprepared. I'm sorry for the sun. I'm going to try to move out of the sun just a little bit here. Give me just a second. My desk out of the sun. There. All right. All right. This is what happens when you go on vacation, right? Okay. So I'm using Daffodil Delight. I'm using the new in color, the 2025, 2027 in color, one of the new ones, Timid Tiger. I'm actually using another one too. When we do the water, I'm using Secret Sea. You'll see that one. So there's Timid Tiger, and then I'm also using Poppy Parade. And these are the three colors that I'm going to use for my sky. All right, just move those out of the way. What I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight first. I'm going to load that up. Now my Daffodil Delight, I've used it quite a bit. So there's plenty of ink in there, but it's not super, super juicy. The Timid Tiger and the Poppy Parade, because they're basically brand new and I haven't used them much yet. When I went to load up my brushes, I could actually see the ink pooling. So you want to be really careful that when you're loading up your brush, you do come over on the side and just give it a little swirl so that you can see how much you have on there. Now I want this sun to be right in the middle here. So I'm just going to come in here and swirl just a nice round area. We'll load that right up. Nice round area for my sun there. Beautiful. Now I'm going to come in with the Timid Tiger, and I'm not going to put the Daffodil Delight away yet. I may need to come back in and do some more blending. So when I'm loading up the Timid Tiger, I am going very light. I am rubbing very light on that, and then just testing over here to see how much I have on there. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here and just very lightly until I can see how much I have on there. I'm going to just very lightly come in here, and I'm going to almost make like a little rainbow over that sun just for right now, just like that. And more. Like so. And then I'm going to bring it out to the edges here. Like so. Now, again, I know I can't see your comments, but I'm going to go back and look at them all after. Let me know, where is the best place you've ever seen a sunset or a sunrise. I'm going to come back in here now with my Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to blend more right into that Timid Tiger. Really softening that line between the two of them there. I'm coming back in with my Timid Tiger. Bring this up just a little bit more. Trying to avoid any like sharp swirl marks in there. Okay, and then let's come in with the Poppy Parade. And again, I'm not putting my Timid Tiger away yet because I may need to come back in and do some more blending. Blend all the way right up in there. Come in with a little bit more. A little bit darker on the Poppy Parade up at the very top. Because in Aruba, this is what one of the sunsets that we saw looked like, had these beautiful colors in it. So I'm just going to bring that Poppy Parade down. I'm going to blend into that Timid Tiger. so. And yeah, I think that's good for now. So let's close these up. So close those ones up and then unfold our little pocket. Then we're going to take off our tape. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And then when I put the tape back on, you want to be very careful when you're doing this. You want to be very careful that you don't leave a white line between the two. So I found, for me anyway, I placed this so that I could just barely see a hint of that. I'll show you that that tape is not sticky anymore. It's not sticky enough. Let me just grab another piece. Okay. All right. Just place this on like so. All right. So let me see if I can zoom in on that so that you can see it. That would be a little bit better than trying to lift it up. Let me just see if I can zoom. There. So you can see, I can see just a hint of this line. Now, if you're really good and you can put it right on that line, you do that. That would look awesome. I am not. So I am going to, do that. All right. Now I'm going to be blending on this side. So this is where I want to use that bigger pocket so that I can really cover that area. So I'm going to come in here, tape that down. So now my tape, my grid paper is overlapping the mint tape. And now I have all of this that I can now blend this area. All right, I'm going to flip it over because this is obviously right side up this way. And I'm going to work from the bottom up, blending into that horizon. All right, the colors that I'm using here, Blueberry Bushel. I can see why I got ink all over myself there. My little alcohol pad. Just easy there. Get that off of there. If you are cleaning with your ink pads with an alcohol pad, just be careful what you clean. Like if you go over some of this printing on the labels, you will actually erase the printing on the label. So you don't want to do that. So I'm using Blueberry Bushel, Gorgeous Grape, and the Secret Sea. So the Secret Sea is that other new in color there. So I'm going to start with the Blueberry Bushel. I'm going to live dangerously and open all of these up. Dangerous. Okay. So I'm using, I'm just using some old blending brushes I have. These ones are not Stampin' Up! Blending brushes. Stampin' Up! Does not have the colored blending brushes. I do label mine with the color that I used first on it, so that I can use that for the same family. So Night of Navy, I used it for Night of Navy. I just cleaned it off. You can just rub it on a paper towel or something to get a lot of the ink off. A lot of it will come off right on your grid paper or scrap paper. But I can use this now for Blueberry Bushel. Misty Moonlight, oh, look, of course. So Misty Moonlight was very close to, when it was cleaned off, it was very close to the Secret Sea. So I'm going to use that in Gorgeous Grape. I haven't used for anything else yet. So all right, so I'm going to start with the Blueberry Bushel. I'm going to come in. Now, when I just swirled that around, I did see the ink pooling up on my ink pad a little bit. So I know that I'm going to have a lot of ink, concentrated ink on there. So I'm just going to come in and just blend that out until I get the color that I'm looking for. And then I'm going to come in, start off your paper, off your cardstock, and then come in. Now with these blues, I found, because it's supposed to be water, if I got some of those deeper swirl marks in here, it's totally fine. So we'll do that one, and then come in with the gorgeous grape, and same thing, pull some color right off of that, and then come in and blend that right over. Oops, you. Good, good, good. Coming down into that blueberry bushel a little bit. You want to be careful not to blend all the way into the blueberry bushel, because you do want the blue to show, and the purple and the blue will combine and create another color. So, all right, Secret C. Come in with this one. And you can actually see, so this one is like this really smoky blue color. I really like this. And then we're just going to come in here and blend here. Now I do want that a little bit darker, and I don't want it to look so stripy. So I'm going to load up my blending brush again. Blend in here. Coming down into the purple, into the gorgeous grape, like so. And I'm just going to come in just with the brush. I'm not going to load up any more with that blueberry bushel. And I'm going to just bring some of that up into this Secret C. And I'm not going all the way across. I'm just kind of coming over here just a little bit, just to enhance that color a little bit there, like so. I am good with that. Close these up. And again, I'm seeing more people are joining, so I just wanted to just say it again. I really am very sorry. I cannot see your comments if you are commenting. I don't know why. I will have it figured out though before my next video, so don't worry about that. All right, so we're just going to take this off and this off now, because I overlapped that just a little bit. You can see that that line, that horizon line, looks a little bit dark. So if you have ever seen you know, a sunset like this, you know that that line is just naturally darker anyway. So that looks very natural to me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my hybrid embossing folder, and I'm just going to come in here with my cards, my layer, and I'm just going to position it so that the water, the waves in the water, the embossing texture, you know, you don't want it all the way up here, obviously. So I'm just positioning that. I am not worried about part of the sailboat being here and there, but I am going to position it side to side so that I can see that sun where the sailboat is. So you can see that on this card, that if I had positioned that sailboat right in the middle, I would have really kind of blocked most of that daffodil. So Daffodil Delight. We're just going to come in here, and you can do it on the other side. You can actually come over here and position your sailboat way over here if that's what you want. I wanted mine over here. So we're just going to do that, position that, and that we're going to run through the embossing machine also. Bring that in real quick. Now this one, even though I do not have a die in there to cut it, I'm just, same thing, same sandwich, just plate your base plate 1 and your plate 4. I am putting the folded edge in first. Roll that through. I put that plate in just a little bit crooked there. Okay. And then what we are left with is this. Gorgeous. All right. Now we're going to take our sailboat that we did earlier and we're going to put some dimensionals on there. I'm going to have to cut some of these dimensionals down a bit. My scissors. Just do some of these edges that will fit on the sailboat here and here. Peel these backings off, and then I'm going to all right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually position this right over the embossed image on the base so that that's actually going to be hidden by the black popped up there. Okay. And then I am going to put dimensionals on the back of this. And I'm only putting dimensionals on the four corners. Normally with a piece this big, you'd also put some in the middle, but there are dimensionals on the back of that sailboat, which is right here. So that will help keep it from, from sagging in the middle or looking like it's sagging in the middle. So I'm just positioning. You guys, did you see that? I didn't even take the, I didn't take the backings off. I'm so tired. Okay. My husband's outside mowing, so I don't know if you can hear the mower or not. He's right outside the window. All right, so now I'm going to position that so that I've got a nice even border around all four sides. Press those dimensionals in place and voila. Now, for the birds, these guys I found were just, it's just, to me, it's, I love my dies. You guys know I love my dies, but this was just too tedious for me having these little ones, unless you put it on adhesive back, you know, a double-sided adhesive on your paper, on your cardstock before you die cut them. That would be fine. However, the easier way is by using your Stampin' Write marker. So this is the basic black Stampin' Write marker. Now, what I found, I'm going to do this on my grid paper so that you can actually see this. So again, and I'm seeing more people joining. So I just want to say, I know I'm saying this so many times, I'm so sorry, but I cannot see your comments. So if you are commenting live, I do apologize. I am not ignoring you. I can't see your comments. So I will go back and I will read all of the comments on the YouTube live chat. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, so the Stampin' Write marker, you know, has the little bullet and the little brush tip. Okay, now you can do this with the bullet tip. I didn't really care for the way that this looked. This, if you notice this, one side of the bird is a little bit thinner than the other side. I liked that look. It kind of, you know, makes you think, you know, you can see the bird's body. So if you do this with just the brush tip, it's a little bit harder to do it, but it's really just coming in here and making a V like this with your brush tip. Now this, I mean, with your bullet tip, with your Stampin' Write marker. I liked doing it with the brush tip. So what I did with the brush tip is I came in for this side of the bird. I went very lightly right at the very tip. You don't want to press too hard right at the tip because you'll damage the tip of the marker. So very lightly here. And then as I'm coming into this side, I'm just kind of tipping it over onto its side a little bit more, and you get a little bit more of, you get body over here. Now you can do that light, tip, and then, you know, come up light again, and you'll get, you know, it'll taper off. But I'm just going to throw some on here. So this actually has 2 birds on here already like that. So I'm actually just going to come in and do those 2 just like that. And then I'm going to put one of my own right here. Just like that. That's all it is, a little V. Just like that. Yay. And that's our card. Now, again, I just got in last night, so I have not had a chance to do any alternates or anything like that. But I used different colors here than I did on the first one I made. So I'll just bring that first one I made back in. These colors are all the same. These ones are the same. And you can see I did a little more water on this one than on this one. I did a little more purple on the Gorgeous Grape on this one than I did on here. This one I got a little bit darker with the Blueberry Bushel than I did down here. And then up here, when I did this one, I used the Daffodil Delight and the Timid Tiger. And then it came in here with Flirty Flamingo. And then I did a little bit of Gorgeous Grape up at the top. So a little bit different. This one, I went a little bit heavier with that Timid Tiger and bringing the Poppy Parade down into it, giving it a more vibrant sunset color instead of a softer color. So those are our cards. Yay! And I do apologize again. So many times I'm apologizing for this. I don't know, these technical difficulties. Go on vacation and everything falls apart. Okay. So Sunrise Sailing Bundle, stamp set, dies, and hybrid embossing folder. Yay! All right, let me flip back to me so I can say goodbye. And again, I'm so sorry. I will go back and read all of the comments. I hope that all of you liked this card. I'll be better prepared for next week. So on that note, I am going to just from now through the summer, I'm going to just plan on doing 1 video on Sunday. Doing 2 a week plus working full time has been quite a lot. And I want to be able to do things, you know, outside during the summer and actually enjoy the very short summer season that we have up here in the Northeast. So, yeah, so I will be back on Sunday, so not Wednesday this week. Now, when we have bad days, you know, crappy weather days, I may do a live, or I may record a video to upload. So I want to make sure that I'm still giving you guys plenty of content, plenty of inspiration. I hope that you have been inspired by this card. I will do in the description of this video, I will list all of the products that I've used and all of the links to my Facebook page and my Pinterest board and all that. So yeah, check those things out. And I hope that you all have a great week, and I will see you back here on Sunday. Bye.